My cat Freddie loves to be brushed and cuddled. But stirring up his cat allergens meant sneezing and itchy eyes. Then I found Purina One Live Clear. It's cat food that reduced the major allergen and my suffering in as little as 21 days. Now, we feel closer than ever. If you have issues with cat allergens, you really need to try Purina One Live Clear.
Try new Purina One Live Clear today. Purina One, a difference from day one.
I'm coming up on my 4-year anniversary of moving to Las Vegas. So today on CityCast Las Vegas, I'm asking my friends and colleagues Brent Holmes and Dayvid Figler if I'm a local yet. And if not, what needs to happen before I become a real Las Vegan? It's Tuesday, May 13th. I'm Sarah Lohman, and here's what Las Vegas is talking about. Dayvid and Brent, what makes you Las Vegas locals?
Wow. Dayvid, how long have you lived here?
All but 3 of my years. And 7 years of school, I guess.
Most of your life.
I've lived here a long, long ass time.
What about you, Brent?
I'm like going on 24 years.
Wow.
So it's quite some time. There is, first, Sarah, I would say there is the duration of time you've put in. You know what I mean?
4 years long enough? The silence.
It's close.
It's close.
It depends on how you live your 4 years, right? If you just stay where your generic apartment is. But Sarah, you're a homeowner.
I bought a house.
That is a check mark in you live here. You're a local.
Yeah, that's a commitment, which a lot of people never make.
You travel to every part of the valley. Another check mark in your favor.
Yeah. Always, even before
you don't
I started
just
working
stick
here.
to where your apartment landed. You know what I mean?
I would prefer it if you came to my neighborhood more, Dayvid Figler, with your downtowner privilege.
I do. I remember walking hand in hand with you on Water Street.
It's true. I love when you all came down to Water Street. Oh my God, big news from Water Street. A Baja Mar just opened up.
Okay.
No.
Considering that big news might make you a local. That actually might qualify you.
I saw it today. This is huge for Water Street. This is a big deal. Call up Scott Dickensheets. I bet he's pumped too. Silence.
Totally.
Another Henderson long timer. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, practically my neighbor. Okay,
and you've been through 3 summers, which to me is the bare minimum.
I moved here in August, so I still caught the tail end of the first summer.
Right.
So you survived the crucible, as it were. I think one of the big things that makes you local is when it's 105 degrees out and you're just like, it's not so bad. That's when you start when you start to hone in on localism.
Will you start becoming the it's a dry heat person?
Yes.
No one says that. No one says that. You know what? Everyone here, that's a sure sign that you're not a local. If you say, but it's a dry heat. That's somebody who is new to the community.
You are a local if you say it ironically as much as possible, though.
Ironically, right, because it doesn't effing matter, but from people who aren't from here. So, Sarah, I did point out some of the major points in your favor to be a local. I am now going to point out a couple that maybe disqualify you from claiming local
Sweet.
status.
So far, my pluses are bought a house, have traveled extensively throughout the valley, and was excited about Baja Mar opening on Pacific Street. It's actually not right on Water Street, but it's around the corner.
Yeah, all very solid arguments for locality.
Okay.
Against 646. You know what I'm saying?
I'm never leaving it. Dayvid is saying that I still have my New York exchange. What is
on
yours,
her telephone?
Yeah, I'm 702, baby.
702, baby. Me too.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta. That's the lifers. That's a lifers number right there. It's just the rules.
God.
And to that extent, you have to mention about things that happen around you in Henderson more than things that happened to you in Cleveland or in New York.
I
because
can't
you
deny
are,
my heritage, Dayvid.
I know. I don't want you to deny your heritage. It's just about the balance. You are
it's
very,
like you're
very
asking me to Americanize my name.
Well, I'm not saying that you need to completely assimilate because we are the melting pot of the melting pot, and we do appreciate people from all over because there are more people here who weren't born here than people who were. But I will say this, balance. A little less Cleveland, a little more Henderson.
I think David's absolutely right. It's usually around the 10-year mark you stop saying I'm from or referring to back home.
Stop it,
and you
Brent.
start.
We have talked about you in New Jersey so many times.
Barely.
And
Brent
we've
has
had
the balance.
Whole interview about you in Texas too.
Those are
why does Brent get to be from New Jersey and Texas, but I can't be from Cleveland and New York?
But he doesn't wear it as his main identifier, whereas you still are Cleveland, you still are New York in a lot of ways.
I will always be. I grew up there, you know?
I get it. I'm not criticizing, and I don't want you to wash it from your past. I don't need you to change your name on Wikipedia. But what I am saying...
I do have a Wikipedia page. Did you know that willingly?
What? I do know that willingly.
I have a Wikipedia page.
Don't we Google each other all the time, Sarah?
I don't know.
I have one too. Blah, blah, blah.
Do you, Figler? I can't.
I want a Wikipedia page. Anyway,
you should have one.
I should, but I
Best
don't.
Characters of Las Vegas. Brent Holmes, right there.
You're not allowed to write it for yourself.
I know. That's why I don't have one, because nobody else loves me.
Let me ask you the ultimate question of whether or not you're truly a local.
Okay.
You've driven out of the city before.
Tons.
You've flown out of the city before.
Tons.
Which means you've returned to the city either by car or by plane.
I had to come back, yeah. I bought a house.
What goes through your mind the moment that you either turn the corner and first see the strip or the lights of strip or look out the window?
Oh my
and
God,
you
my
see
heart
it.
explodes. Like,
Tell me more.
It's so beautiful. Usually I'm flying in at night. Sometimes I'm leaving in the early morning. And I'm just like, there it is, the landscape of my home. I start looking out the window once we're in Boulder City. And I'm just like, there's the Hoover Dam. There's, not Black Mountain. Actual Black Mountain, not the one everyone thinks is Black Mountain with the antenna on it. Mm-hmm. Like, there's Boulder Highway. Like, I can pick it all up from the plane and I'm so excited.
So heart explodes. You love seeing all the things. That is a B- answer. I love you,
God.
But that's not the full local experience. The full local experience is, gasp, this is my home. What is this place? Why do I embrace it so much? You question your own sanity, but you also revel in the splendor and the sight. It's a mixed emotion when you return, but it is ultimately a calm.
I would describe it as, oh no, the stratosphere. That is the core thing that hits my heart. I'm happy to be home, but it's somewhere in my brain. I'm like, look at this nightmare landscape that is unfolding before me.
No, me too. I'm like,
I love it.
I roll high roller.
I love it.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
but there's also a lot of love, which is why I gave you a B-, right? You still got a good score, but that's not full local yet. Full local has conflicting emotions when you return, but overwhelm you with it, not just the splendor, because tourists can be excited by seeing the sphere.
I love the mountains.
When you look for your house, that's part of it too.
I do look for my house. I've not seen it yet because we don't.
Yeah.
It's just not. It's too far.
So I'll give you a straight B.
Hi, I'm David Plotz, the CEO of CityCast. We've all set health goals: lose weight, exercise more, eat better. But without a plan, those goals often fade. That may have happened to you. It has definitely happened to me. And that's where Prolon comes in. Prolon's 5-day fasting mimicking diet gives you a science-backed, structured approach to stay on track and see real results. And now Prolon is upping their game with the new Next-Gen 5-day program, delivering the same science-backed benefits in a cleaner, more convenient, and more flavorful format. Prolon is a plant-based nutrition program featuring soups, snacks, and beverages designed to nourish the body while keeping it in a fasting state, triggering cellular rejuvenation and renewal. Next-Gen builds on the original Prolon with 100% organic soups and teas, a richer taste, and ready-to-eat meals. Developed over decades at USC's Longevity Institute and backed by top U.S. medical centers, Prolon has been shown to support biological age reduction, metabolic health, skin appearance, fat loss, and energy. I've been doing the 5-day program, and I feel so much better. I really enjoy the tasty energy bars, the snacks and soups, and the fact that I can enjoy meals, even though the calorie count is super low. The flavors and textures are excellent. An olive oil snack here, broccoli and quinoa soup there, hibiscus tea, a yummy nut bar. It's got the benefits of a 5-day fast, but doesn't have the challenge of doing it with pure liquids. It's a system reset. And also, I know this sounds funny, but it's not. The packaging and directions are fantastic, clear, and well organized and thoughtful. For a limited time, you can be first in line to experience the new Next Gen at special savings. Prolon is offering CityCast listeners 15% off site-wide, plus a $40 bonus gift when you subscribe to their 5-day program. Just visit prolonlife.com/city. That's prolonlife.com/city to claim your 15% discount and your bonus gift. prolonlife.com/city. This episode of CityCast is sponsored by Babbel. Learning a new language opens the door to new friends, new cultures, maybe even a whole new life. So why not start the journey today with Babbel? You can start speaking a new language with confidence thanks to Babbel's conversation-based technique. It quickly teaches you useful words and phrases about the things you actually talk about in the real world. There are more than a dozen languages available for you to learn at your own pace, with material tailored to your individual proficiency level, interests, and time availability. I'm Dayvid Figler, CEO of CityCast, and I've been learning Spanish with Babbel and brushing up a teeny bit on my French. But there's also Turkish, Swedish, Dutch, German, many more languages. Babbel's tips and tools for learning a new language are approachable and accessible. It's like having a private tutor in your pocket. I particularly love Babbel's guided conversations, which let me practice real-world conversations. What to say at the doctor's office, how to leave a party, using speech recognition to make sure I'm getting the pronunciation right. Babbel's mobile app and website have real-time feedback, progress trackers, and clear visualizations. They're helping me improve my Spanish in only 10 minutes a day. So get talking with Babbel. I want you to learn another language, so I'm teaming up with Babbel to gift you 55% off subscriptions, but only for CityCast listeners at babbel.com/citycast. Get up to 55% off at babbel.com/citycast. Spelled BABBEL.com/citycast. Babbel.com/citycast. Rules and restrictions may apply.
You know what? The other point I'm going to give you, the check mark, is hosting this friggin' show and your deep curiosity about the city. And
But
I think that ultimately makes you the local. I think that wins.
The local, because I wasn't hired as the local. I was hired as the bright-eyed newbie optimist here to learn about the world.
Yeah. But I think that in the process, you've become
hired as the outsider. I've only been here a year and a half, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you've become the local, and it's been beautiful to watch, and like you grow into your role as a true Las Vegan. And I would say, like, typically, Dave, yes, please, what's up, man?
I just thought one more. I'm sorry, Brent.
What do you got? What do you got, man?
Sarah, have you been in an awkward conversation with someone, either a stranger or a close person, defending the existence of Las Vegas?
Oh my God. Like every time I leave.
There you go.
So like, okay, a lot of this is relating back to the fact that I'm from other places, but like, isn't part of being a Las Vegan also being from somewhere else? Like, it's rare to find someone born and raised. I shouldn't say that. Multiple people I know were born and raised.
No, but it's rare. Statistically, we're lower than any other place in the country.
Okay.
Maybe Alaska.
So, like, if it's not like being born here, you know, is it more of an attitude adjustment that I need?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's an incorporation of some of the traits of the city, right? The 24-hour ethos, the into it but over it kind of ideal when it comes to the Strip, like the perpetual happy hour, and then like figuring out also how to, and I think this is to me the most important one, and you do this in spades, but partially because of this podcast, is how to build community within a city that is so transient. And that's when you really become a local, is when you have a grasp of what the community of the city really is.
Can I add something? This is going to be sweet, you guys, bouncing off of that. Can I tell you the moment that I felt like a local? About 3 months ago, I was meeting a friend who I didn't know before I moved here. Shout out Emily. And we were co-working at the cafe in the writer's block. And sitting there in the writer's block, I saw two other Friends and CityCast contributors, Michael M.J. Lyle and Kim Foster, both pass through completely independently. To me, I feel like a local when I am stationary or I'm walking around the city and I see people I know just out and about. It's such a good feeling, such an embracing feeling.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, that's the same feeling you get, I think, living in any city that makes you really feel at home. And feeling at home here is sometimes kind of hard, especially when you're new. There's a lot of trial and error in figuring out where you fit and how you slot in and who you want to spend your time with.
And I think because you've both been here so long, I don't think I've had the experience 3 times as an adult trying to find that place in a new city. And it takes about 3 years. And then suddenly there's this turning point where you're like, oh, I live here. Like, this is my community. But it really does take time. And that has been more like, as I've moved later in life, it is more noticeable to me than when I moved the first time at 23, you know?
Right. I mean, being a local, look, there's going to be different ways to achieve that, right? Some people are born into it. Some people inherit it quickly as a child, and some people kind of have to earn it by making the decision to uproot their life wherever they're from, and like plant roots here and actually nurture them and let them grow. And then, the day you realize I have a tree now from that plant, you're, a local. And that's a really nice metaphor.
So let me ask, if we were going to create merit badges, and you have to collect so many to be a real Las Vegan, what would some of those badges be?
Oh, we could rapid fire this one. Have you ever driven down Dean Martin, the street?
Yeah.
It's sort of it parallels more or less I-15.
Yeah.
And you always drive by a place called Tommy Rockers, but you've never gone in.
No.
Yeah, it's huge. Trust me, you've seen it.
Yeah. I mean, no, I've never gone in.
No, but once you do, that's a merit badge.
Oh, fair enough.
I feel like I can rapid fire this too, because before I even moved here, I saw some of the craziest shit I've ever seen. So I feel like if you've seen the craziest shit you've ever seen, that's a merit badge.
Comped to a Cirque show, a nightclub, you name it.
Comped.
If you've been comped, the more comped you've been, that's one merit badge. But I think it should have like one of those little charging bars. So it just depends. You can see how comped you've been.
Dangle more medals on it, like a major general. Yeah,
exactly.
Yes.
Okay, here's one that you shouldn't be proud of. If you get the first time you intentionally go through a red light and you feel really, really bad about it, and then you look in your rearview mirror and you saw that 2 to 3 people behind you also went through that red light, that's a merit badge. It's like, okay. And hopefully that will teach you a lesson to never do that again, because we need to stop at red people.
Thai food in Commercial Center, is that a merit badge, guys?
100%.
I mean, there's 3 Thai restaurants now. Pick one, go. If you haven't had Thai food in Commercial Center, then,
Any food from a nationality not your own in the Commercial Center is an unlocked merit badge. If you went,
mine is a coyote made me nervous. That's one of mine.
What?
Actually, coyote sighting would be a merit badge, I would imagine.
Yeah.
We've got coyotes in Ohio. Just like...
Do you see them in your streets?
They're big, too. But the coyotes here are just a little bit more...
How about a coyote within 100 yards of a Starbucks?
Yeah.
That's something here that you don't see in Ohio, I think.
No.
David, I'm going to need your help with this one. I'm thinking about cookie jar. Is there a current equivalent to a cookie jar experience that can merit badge? He's gone. As tragic as that is, rip. But like, what is the current, like, you got to be a little inside baseball to have ended up at a cookie jar show or really drunk and a tourist, right?
Well, look, I mean, there are a lot of options. There's high-end options. Your dad is a high-end option of that, to see Clint Holmes perform, to see Frankie Marino perform. This is like a local thing. But then there's the other end of the spectrum, too, the closer to the cookie jar style stuff. And there's tons of that all over the place. I mean, you could find it. You could go to the piano nights and see somebody on there that it's at that level, and you're just like, I love this person. And what it is...
Hear Dayvid Figler perform, for example, in Tippy Elvis?
Tippy
Elvis, I haven't managed to do yet.
Yeah, that's something. Yeah, that's more cookie jar level.
I think Tippy Elvis is a merit badge. That is a merit badge.
But what I will say this, and just to broaden it a little bit, Brent, from what you're saying, is to embrace the kind of kitsch that's here and elevate it in a very non-ironic way, to actually enjoy something that is maybe corny or bad or
I
like,
love it.
Less than, but also more than, if that makes sense.
How does PwC take your company to the leading edge? They bring the sharpest minds in tech to your team, so you can bring the ideas that will transform your business. They're passionate about your industry, so you can walk into any room with every advantage. And they're with you every step of the way, so you can know you're headed in the right direction. PwC builds for what's next, so you can get there now. Get started at pwc.com/us/leading edge.
This episode is brought to you by GM Genuine Parts and AC Delco. Get the most out of your vehicle with GM Genuine Parts and AC Delco original equipment. The only parts designed, engineered, tested, and backed by General Motors. You can find your perfect fit for most makes and models and choose from 3 tiers of parts, including GM OE or gold and silver aftermarket parts. Visit gmparts.com for more information.
And I'm gonna throw this one out there for the arts community. Gone to an exhibition at Nuwu, Marjorie Barrick, the Arts Factory, maybe.
I was doing that before I moved here. Come on.
But more than one within a year, right? That would actually make you a local if you end up at more than one art exhibition in Las Vegas.
I'm going to caveat that.
Hmm.
Also, in a place that's not a traditional gallery. Something that's more like a house or the back of a weird warehouse or something like that, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Or Justin Favela's 7 Magic Tire Mountains in
the middle of the desert.
In the middle of the
Cooper Rest
desert.
Studios, so those guys. Yeah,
Las Vegas.
But we are kind of an incredible city for alternative spaces in that way.
Yeah.
One more sincere one, and then I have a couple of funny ones in my bag here. But the moment that you see a sunset, it not only takes your breath away, but you stare and linger at it for a really long time and forget about gaming and the strip and the bombast and every other good and bad part of this city. And you just say, I realize I'm in a special place because of what I am captivated by right now. That sunset.
Oh, yeah. Desert
all the
skies,
colors, all the textures, right? You know the sunset I'm talking about, people listening to this.
Yeah.
And it happens a lot. A merit badge, if you have friends in town and they want to take a picture at the Las Vegas sign and you don't friggin' wait in line because you don't have to. There are no rules. You just walk up and take your picture. Like, there's guys there that are hustling to take your picture for money and you're just like, no, it's free.
A real local takes people to the Las Vegas sign on Boulder Highway.
Oh, there's that one too. Yeah,
that one. Oh, yeah. That's
a good
the
one.
Secret spot. Any amount of money delivered to a busker on Fremont Street, I think. I know this is a tourist action, but I don't believe. I think that as a local, once you've been broken down by these people to an extent, giving them $1 is some kind of, I don't know, it's some kind of magical thing.
I appreciate the gorilla as an artist.
The gorilla's doing really well for himself right now.
I miss the old man Cupid in the diaper.
In the thong?
R.I.P.
That was good.
Yes. We are the weirdest. That's what I want to see from a Fremont busker.
Maybe
100%.
that's more of it. It's not the money you exchange, but the ability to recall 3 generations of busker on Fremont.
Okay, so am I a real Las Vegas local, guys?
Oh, back to that first question where we were weighing it and balancing it.
Right. I mean, is your heart lighter than a feather?
Oh my God, I think the answer is no.
Drum roll, please.
What city do you live in?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
I live in Henderson.
Of course. Do you know why that's funny? Do you know why that's funny? Do you know what I said is funny?
Because everyone who lives in Las Vegas actually lives in Henderson.
Nope.
Ouch.
That is true.
I
Everyone's
know
from
it's
Henderson.
true, but there's like probably 30% of the people listening right now are like, Sarah, you missed it. You had a chance for instant local status. But see, this is an old school thing, right? And it doesn't count because we have to adjust that metric. There used to be a commercial that played constantly where there was an auto dealership and the catchphrase was, in Henderson, of course. So if you meet an old timer and they say, of course, after you tell me from Henderson, that's what they're talking about.
Oh, man, that is a deep
Now you know. Hey, now that you know that.
But I don't know the reference. I'm just a liar.
But it's okay. But now I've told you the reference.
David, we can't gauge everyone on old commercials. I mean, Sarah, complete this sentence. Michael E. Minden and Company Jewelers, Sarah.
You guys have, every time I have you both on an episode, you talk about old commercials.
Finish this sentence, Sarah. I can and I will.
There's the bug guy, the smashy bug guy. There's also the cell phone, king of sofas, king of cell phones.
Sure, king of cell phone. That was it. You know what, Sarah? You're friggin' a local. You're absolutely a local.
You know
what? You did it.
You're a local. You did it.
You've done the hard work. You really have.
I remembered the king of cell phones commercial.
No, I'm just telling you right now, forget about all that nonsense at the end. You have earned it. You have worked really hard, and you are embraced. You're one of us. One of us.
Google gobble, google gobble. One of us. One of us.
You know what? I don't think it's true. I'm going to reject it. 5 years minimum. I think there are people in their cars riding right now. I think it's 5 years minimum. And I think, especially because it's a transient city, that like it's actually going to be a 10-year mark.
It is actually a 10-year mark, Sarah. You're correct. That my classic standard is how long have you been here? If they say 10 years, I'm like, well, then you're from Las Vegas.
You know why I'm going to say right now why I'm dubbing you, I'm anointing you as a local right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I meet other people who say that they've been here 3 years, going on 4 years, if in my heart I still am cold and saying, you know what, but if they leave tomorrow, I'm going to be okay because I assume they will. I assume you won't, and I will be heartbroken if you left, which means that you are a local.
I feel like this is an honorary degree, which I also hope to get one day because I don't have an advanced degree. So I will take being an honorary local until I hit my actual 10-year mark. I do feel honored for that privilege, David. And I feel like if anyone has the right to bestow it, it's you.
Aw. The guy who's lived here the better part of 6 decades.
David is the Pope of Las Vegas.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Pope, the mayor.
It used to be a bunch of white smoke would come out of the Mirage volcano, but now we got to come up with another one.
David, Brent, thank you for all of your gentle advice and critique.
Well, from one fellow local to another, you're welcome.
Thank you, Brent.
God, thank you, Sarah.
That's all for today here on CityCast Las Vegas. If you enjoyed this show, why not send it to a friend who is in line for their own honorary local degree? You can also rate the show, leave us a review, and subscribe to our morning newsletter on our website. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Take care. Tuesday the 13th. Ooh, look out.